Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Third Wave Trades. Today we're going to be doing an update on Palantir Technologies Inc., ticker symbol PLTR. I've been keeping a track on this stock, guys, and even though I have not done a video on it in a couple of weeks, I do believe that now is a good time to do an update because I think that a spring move may be coming. All right, so we're going to take a look at the stock in terms of its Elliot wave count, and we're also going to take a look at it in terms of the Wyckoff accumulation method, which is what we were doing in the previous videos as well. We're going to have a lot to cover, so let's just get straight into it. But before we do, guys, quick disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research and/or consult with a financial advisor before making any trading or investment decisions. Secondly, guys, if you could, please hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel if you guys want more Elliott wave breakdowns on your favorite cryptos, stocks, and commodities. All right, guys, so let's start off with a quick recap of what we were saying in terms of the Wyckoff method regarding Palantir Technologies. So at the time, we were looking at the Wyckoff accumulation method. I had mentioned to you guys that there's two accumulation schematics, right? And essentially they're the same. The only difference is a spring movement that occurs in schematic number 1 that is absent in schematic number 2. As you guys can see, they both have this preliminary support followed by a selling climax, an automatic rally, a secondary test. Then you get another secondary test as a sign of weakness in phase B, which essentially goes lower. You have another move up, and then you kind of trade in this range for a little bit until you get to your last point of support, and then from there you end up going higher. So that's in phase C, your last point of support. You go higher from there until you end up basically creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So essentially signs of strength where you consolidate at new highs, make a new last point of support, go higher. You consolidate over here for a little bit, then go higher as well. All right, so they're essentially the same thing. The only difference is basically in the phase C aspect of it, whereas in schematic number 2, you have this last point of support without the spring movement, right? In schematic number 1, you do end up having a spring movement that ends up going lower than your sign of weakness. And that is a very quick move where it's kind of like made by market makers and smart money to kind of push you out of your position and basically to get you to sell so that they can get better positions to go long, right? So that's, I believe, what is playing out. In my last video, I said that the next thing that I would be looking for is a move lower and a spring movement, and that we are in schematic number 1. So I'll get rid of schematic number 2 for now, just so I can compare schematic number 1 to the price action that we see on Palantir. As you guys can see over here, I have it divided up into its different phases. That's basically our phase A, and you guys can see we have the preliminary support, the automatic rally, the selling climax. We have our secondary test as a sign of weakness in phase B, and initially I took this sort of as an up thrust move, and over here as the last point of support, because it was right around here, around the $9 mark, that I said we would be looking for a sign of strength over here, and if we got that, then we could possibly play it long. We never got that, guys. It wicked out above, like once it hit $9, and it started coming back down, and from there we've been having this sell-off for about almost 3 weeks now. To me, this is very indicative of a phase C spring move that is basically coming, where we will actually take out this low. As you guys can see over here, I have drawn basically what I think is the possible area where this spring could come and bounce, right? And that's basically this demand zone based off of this red candle, which saw us getting a nice move we came back in it, and you can see how we immediately touched that area, and we rallied hard, right? So that tells me that this is a strong demand zone. Kind of lines up with our 78.6% retracement of this entire move. So I like this as an area for us to basically come down to and possibly spring up. I'm not saying that that will happen. It's just something that I'm keeping on my radar as a potential potential area of interest as to where we can bounce. Now, in order for me to see this as a spring move, I want to see um, a strong bounce, no matter if it's here, if it's a little bit lower. I just think this is the most likely area that it would happen. I would have to see some sort of bullish engulfing candle or see a hammer candle, something that shows me that we came down, we hit a low, and we immediately rally above that, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking for, and then I think that I will basically be able to say that the bottom is in terms of this move, and then we're going to rally higher. As you can see, this is how it would play out in terms of what happens after the spring move according to the Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And it doesn't look that far different from just a regular wave count, right? So you would have a move up, some sort of consolidation, or what we would call a retracement in the Elliot wave principle, another move up, right? So it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type playing out. But that's exactly what we would expect from the Elliot wave principle. All right, guys, so I do think that this spring move is coming. I think earlier, the first time we had jumped the gun, we didn't let the phase B play out. This looks very much like it is leading to a spring move that is going to take out this low. So this looks like a potential area of interest as to where we can bounce hard, and that's around the $6.80 area based off of this demand zone. Looking for a strong bounce over there. Like I said, a bullish engulfing candle, a hammer candle, something like that wicks out over there, something really strong, some confirmation, right? So like two nice green days in a row after that, and I would basically call the bottom at that point, and from there expect to rally higher. All right, so that basically would complete our phase C, is that spring move with the confirmation, and from there we will be looking to form that last point of support and a rally up, sign of strength where we consolidate, and then we move higher in our phase D's and phase E's. All right, so that's how I'm looking at it from the Wyckoff method, and it pretty much aligns with our Elliot wave count. All right, so let's go over and now take a look at the wave count that we had from last time. So here not much has changed. It's basically playing out how I originally thought that it would, which is a WXY pattern, right? I was saying, and the whole point, guys, the reason why I was using the Wyckoff method to begin with was because I didn't like how this correction was looking. It didn't look like a typical Elliott wave correction. So I was basically just pointing out that when I see these sideways moves, I'm more inclined to try to use the Wyckoff method to try to understand or get a different take a different approach to understanding these sideways consolidation moves that can get very tricky when you're using the Elliott wave principle. So essentially, guys, I think that this second wave is playing out, this three-wave structure, and we're basically waiting for the bottom of this Y pattern, and I think we will get it, like I said, around that $6.80 mark, which again, if I were to draw out this retracement tool, you could see kind of corresponds to our 78.6% retracement. We've already passed the 61.8%. So I'm looking for somewhere around here to get the bounce. That's where I could say that our second wave is in, and from there we would be looking to go higher. Here, this orange line you guys can see that I have drawn over here around the 590 mark is the origin of this entire move, and that would be our point of invalidation. If we continue to go lower, 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 and we break this point, at that point all of this is off the table, guys. Especially in terms of like the Elliott wave count, like this is no longer a bullish move. because we're taking that out, this whole count becomes invalidated. So I don't think we're going to get that. I am looking at the 78.6% level as to where we're going to bounce. That's $6.80 range. There is a pretty decent demand zone over there. So there's a lot of confluencing of patterns and indicators showing that we are going to bounce somewhere around there. Don't want to jump the gun yet, but that is what I'm looking for. All right, guys. Now, in terms of the wave count itself, I had this labeled over here, as you guys can see, as an impulsive move, basically, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also starting to think that this could just be a 3-wave move, and if that is the case, then just like some of the other videos, like you guys seen my Shopify video and my video on Mara and Riot, a lot of these stocks at these lows, right, at these December lows where they've bounced, they've been kind of playing out in these leading diagonal structures where you get a 3-wave structure, and then possibly like another 3-wave structure. So that's something to watch for, but if that is playing out, I will let you guys know. Right now it's too early to tell. Right now we're really just looking for this low to come in, like a nice spring move, the end of this second wave in Elliot terms, and a move higher, whether that takes place in a 5-wave impulse or a 3-wave motive move. I do see it coming. I do expect it to take out this $10.30 move when it comes. As you guys can see on the RSI, we are like really close to being oversold. So I am anticipating us to basically bottom out at some point in the next few days, maybe the next week or so, and then get that bounce. Trying to see if there's anything else that we can really talk about. I mean, that was my main point was to let you guys know that I think a spring move is coming. It's, you don't want to jump the gun right now. Whether is this right now the time to go long? I don't think so. I want to see it come down to that $6.80 range where there is a demand zone, which is there's also confluence with the 78.6% retracement level, the end of this second wave retracement in terms of a WXY. And once it comes down there, I want to see a very bullish reversal pattern take place. I want to see the RSI go from being oversold to coming back into this region and going higher. Same thing with the stochastics. As you can see right here on our EMAs, our 21-day crossed lower than our 50-day EMA. So I would like to see that get back up on the upside. Right now, guys, this pattern is not done going down, I don't think. As of right now, there's no sign that there is. I guess the only sign that you could possibly take, now that I'm looking at it, it's something that I missed, is just this candle pattern right here, which is kind of like a doji candle showing some sort of like uncertainty, but in and of itself, it's not a reversal. It's just uncertainty. So we want to see a strong move. I think something like this, like I said, like a hammer candle, like for the day where we wick out to the bottom side, right? That's kind of what I'll be looking for. Something like that, where we come down low, we touched it, but we ended up finishing higher. To me, that followed by a confirmation of another candle, green candle for the next day. That to me will be confirmation that basically now we're starting this move up, and it would be a 3rd wave move, guys, and that 3rd wave move would be pretty strong. Whether it's a leading diagonal or an impulsive move will remain to be seen, but either way, this is a move that I would basically be willing to play once I see the reversal come in. Alright, guys, so that's all I really got right now for Palantir. I just wanted to give you guys an update. It's not that I have forgotten about it, it's just that I am waiting for this to play out. So I just don't feel that this down wave move is done yet. It should be soon, though, maybe like another week, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so that's all I got for today. I'll be back with more. Peace.